If you have any questions, raise your hand, get a microphone, state your name and your place of business. Coach, 40-minute game.
Yeah, obviously we're extremely disappointed. We came here to win this tournament and felt like we were in a good place mentally and physically to do that, and we came up short tonight, and it was a tale of two halves. I thought Arizona obviously outplayed us convincingly in the first half, and I thought that's where we kind of lost the game, if you will. But the one thing about our team is there's no give up. They've got tremendous fight, tremendous resolve. And I'm really proud of the comeback that we staged to get ourselves back in the game. We could not get to the free throw line, and that was the difference in the game. We could not get there, and we were trying to get there. We didn't finish some baskets in the first half. I thought we could have finished, but we kept attacking, we kept plugging, and we made a great comeback. We just came up a little bit short. But I'm extremely proud of our guys, and I told them in the locker room, I don't think this is the end of our season, and we've got to pick our heads up. And there's only one team leaving Las Vegas happy, and we're certainly not one of them. So disappointing. But listen, credit the University of Arizona. They're a good team, well-coached team, a tough team. Got a lot of respect for their players and their coach and their program. And when you lose to Arizona, there's no reason to hang your head because they're a heck of a program.
In the back.
Coach, when you guys went into halftime with that big deficit, what was the mood in there? What did you say to kind of inspire that comeback?
Well, look, our guys were down, they were disappointed, but again, there's no quit in these guys, and there wasn't any question in my mind. We came out in the second half and we wanted to be really aggressive on the ball screen coverage, because in the first half, I felt like they got downhill on us. They got the ball in the lane, and it makes it really tough on our big guys and our guards, quite frankly. And so, we changed our ball screen coverage, which I think really helped us in the second half, keep the ball out of the lane. And if they're going to beat us, I was going to make them beat us with jump shots, but not certainly at the rim like they were having their way with us in the first half. And look, we out-rebounded them 51-35. I mean, it's something Coach Prillo pointed out in the locker room with these guys, and that's, you out-rebound Arizona by 16. Again, says something about our fight and our toughness, but we couldn't finish like as well as we needed to finish tonight, bottom line, first half or second half. But there's going to be nights like that, and that's where you have to rely on your defense, and it wasn't quite good enough tonight, but again, I'm really proud of our guys.
Right here.
Ellison, OCU Independent. After your performance in the first half, did you expect these guys to come out and drop 58 in the second?
No, it wasn't about that. We talked about we're not going to get back in this thing all at once. We're going to get back into it one possession at a time, and by getting stops and clawing our way back in there, and that's what we did. So it wasn't about scoring 58 points. It wasn't about, it was we got to get stops, and then we got to look to run and try to get the ball to the rim, be aggressive, get to the foul line. We did a better job of that in the second half. I don't know what the breakdown was on foul shots. I know we shot 21 for 25, which is a really good percentage, but we got there 25 times. They got there probably, my guess is 34 times, maybe.
44.
So, yeah, but that was after we started fouling. I don't count those. When we're trying to foul at the end, I don't count those as free throws. I'm talking about when we're playing our regular defense, they're playing their regular defense. I'll go back and watch the film and figure that out. Not that it means anything, but we didn't get to the foul line. We were trying to get to the foul line, and sometimes we couldn't.
Pat Rooney, Boulder Daily Camera. Coach, like you mentioned, not the result you wanted. However, being able to stage to come back the way you did, can this give you, maybe keep the momentum rolling for whatever comes next for this team, as opposed to if the game had stayed the way it was going in the first half?
Yeah, Pat, the thing about this team that, and you followed us all year, but the one thing about this group of guys is they've shown resiliency all year long. And it hasn't always been, peaches and cream for us. We've had some tough losses on the road. We had a really tough loss at home to Utah, our only loss at home. But every time, I would say, except for maybe the LA trip when we lost to USC, and then we didn't bounce back against UCLA. It's the only time they haven't bounced back immediately. But we bounced back the next game against Arizona at home. So the one thing about this team is they're resilient, and I don't worry about them giving their best effort or being ready to play. We don't always play well. We don't always shoot the ball as well as we're capable, or finish, or we're not perfect, but got great character and great toughness, and I'll go to war with these guys. I mean, I love them, and we're extremely disappointed. We came here we really felt in our hearts we could win this tournament. And I told our athletic director before the game, I said, Rick, I think if we win this game, we can win this game, we can win this tournament, but we're not going to get that opportunity. And we would like to have another shot at Oregon.
Ryan Koenigsberg, BSN Denver. Josh, I wanted to ask you a similar question. Obviously, you guys are disappointed. You wanted to come out here and win, but to score 58 points in the second half against Arizona and kind of make that comeback, does it give you some confidence heading into the rest of the postseason?
Sure. I mean, anytime you can, score like that, I think, honestly, for me, it was just that we were getting stops. We were rebounding the ball even if we weren't finishing it, and that's all stuff that, we talk about it all the time. It travels, so, that's what we can take into wherever we're playing next.
Right here.
Neil Welka, CUBuffs.com. Tad, you guys can now have a 2 or 3 day just sitting around waiting for the NCAA selection committee. Do you believe that your resume is good enough to get you into the tournament?
Short answer is yes, and the realistic answer is it doesn't matter what I think.
Let's wrap it up here.
Will Whalen with BSN Denver. Josh, this was, barring a matchup later on in the NCAA tournament, this is the last time you will play at Arizona. Obviously, with the excitement of that second half, what was it like out there playing them? And then obviously looking back, can you think of any moments that really stood out matching up with them?
It was just a physical, tough game like it always is with Arizona. They play incredibly hard. I have a lot of respect for, a lot of the guys on their team and, how they do things. And, in terms of moments, obviously anytime you win against them, but, I will always feel like it got stolen from my freshman year when, the buzzer beater didn't count, supposedly. But in the end, they're a good team, and it's been fun competing against them my 4 years here.
Last question out here.
Coach, this time last year when you guys got out of the tournament, it was kind of a different tone. You said after the season that there wasn't much leadership in that squad. What does this say about the players on this team that you have right now and how they've grown in this past year from being devoid of leadership to now being guys of great character?
Well, let me echo Josh's sentiment. Sabatino's shot was good, okay, just for the record, just to go back there. But I will say this. The one thing about Josh Scott, and I think Xavier Talton, Eli Stalzer, Brett Brady, we have 4 seniors on this team, and we've got some really terrific underclassmen as well. But those 4 seniors, there's no question in my mind that last year's experience and what they went through, and especially Josh right here, they learned from that, and they experienced it, with us. They were a part of it. And I've always said, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And the one thing these guys did from a leadership standpoint, and it started, in the spring and even in the summer months, is they took it upon themselves to say, we're not going to go back to where we were last year and that feeling. And this is a completely different feeling than we had last year. Sitting here, still disappointing, but I'm really proud of what Josh has done, the leadership he's shown, as well as our other 3 seniors. And these 4 guys really deserve to finish their college career on a high note. And boy, I sure hope we get that opportunity, because we're a team that I don't think people are going to want to play. And there's going to be a lot of good teams in this tournament, but we'll figure out if we're part of it, and if we are, we'll relish the opportunity. But I'm proud of these guys.
One more for George here.
Jake Shapiro from KVCU Boulder. George, you had 2 really big games here in the postseason. How do you feel about your play right now? Where is it at?
It's okay, but it wasn't good enough to get the win done today. So,
all right, fellas, thank you.
Thank you.